Welcome to the BS Review. Today we are reviewing War for the Planet of the Apes. This movie is directed by Matt Reeves, and it is the final movie in the trilogy that he's done for the Planet of the Apes movies. And wow.
Yeah, I really think this was an excellent ending to a trilogy. This movie definitely focused more on the characters than like the, I guess, epic action storyline side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was still there, but the main focus of the movie was definitely more on the characters and their relationships to each other and how they banded together in adversity.
I would say that, especially with the marketing, it was a surprising kind of movie, because the marketing makes it look very, like, action-focused.
Well, especially with the title,
Yeah,
War
War
for the Planet of the Apes, it's like, you just think it's going to be pretty much like what the second one was. I mean, the second one was, like, constant fighting, and, a lot of it was. This one I expected to be more of the same, just kind of in a different setting and with more stakes, and, I think I cried, like, 3 times in this movie, and I do not cry at movies.
Yeah, this movie was very sad. There was a lot that happened, and it's definitely a war movie in that it shows like the true like cost of war for these characters and for Caesar especially.
So let's start with our thoughts on Caesar and that performance by Andy Serkis, because I agree with the whole wide internet when they say give the man a damn Oscar. Oh my god. The CGI in this movie was also fantastic. Like, it looked real, and Andy Serkis's motion capture just brought it so much more to life.
I think that's what's so crazy is everything is almost photorealistic. And some movies, like even the CGI is good, you can still tell it's CGI, and you think, wow, in 10 years that probably won't hold up. Whereas the CGI is so good in this movie, I think it'll hold up.
I had to remind myself that these weren't real, like, humanoid monkeys, because, like, it just looked genuinely authentic.
In all of the Planet of the Apes movies, they do a really good job of, like, blending, like, human characteristics with ape characteristics, and you really feel like that human aspect of them and that intelligence is there.
And it's just so interesting to see the way Caesar's character is so much different from previous iterations of his character, like the Mark Wahlberg one. It's a completely different character. It has been from the very beginning, but it's still just like such a stark difference when you think of that other movie.
And speaking of Caesar, I think one of the coolest things is that throughout this trilogy, like, you can go back and watch it, and it's just like, it's like a character journal of Caesar, of just where he starts as just
phenomenal.
A monkey and turns into a leader. Like, and I think that was the biggest thing about this film is by the end, like, he's finally become like the leader he's always needed to be for his people.
Yeah, and we got to see some more of the side characters, like his sidekicks, his buddies, his, right-hand men, monkeys. They were a lot more prominent in this film in the way they interacted with each other. The non-verbal communication in this movie was just so well written and well directed. Like, they're doing sign language a lot of times, but even without that, sometimes they're not doing sign language, and the conversations they're having with that is like more genuine than some really wordy, flowery script in some movies. Another standout performance from this movie was Woody Harrelson. From the trailers, we know that he's pretty much the antagonist, and beyond that, we don't know that much about his character in the trailer. We won't spoil anything for you, but his performance, I hated that man so much.
Yeah, they did a really good job of just building up reasons why this guy was such a bad person, and how, you enjoyed hating him, and at the same time, his position, you knew it was wrong, but for the position that he was in, it also kind of made sense, and I think those are the best villains. This movie had a lot of tie-ins and homages to the original films, which I really liked.
Yeah, the ones from like the 70s, and also even the Mark Wahlberg reboot. They had some similarities, and in this movie, I felt like there were at least like 3 or 4 times during this movie where I was like, I see what you're doing. And like, it was, not just like shots were lined up similarly with similar just visual aspects to them and what was in the shot without being spoilery about it. And also there were some character tie-ins as well to some old movies.
Yeah, definitely the way the plot moves is it feels connected to those older ones, and it kind of brings some weight to it, and it's just cool to see this very new series start to tie into those original that have so many fans of it and so much lore behind it. As far as complaints for this movie go, we didn't really have a whole lot. We sat there after the movie, it was like, did you have complaints? And
I mentioned like 2 continuity errors. I was like, those were literally the only things I can think of to critique about this movie. And they were such minor things.
yeah, I feel like there's minor nitpicky things, but those are also subjective for the most part.
But like plot-wise and writing-wise and directing-wise and visuals, just all the, the main highlights, all great in my opinion.
Yeah, it was really well done and a very well-crafted movie, and we loved it. In our opinion, it's the best one of the trilogy, and
which I think that opinion might be a little controversial just based on other people's opinions I've seen floating around, but you know what? I'm gonna stick to it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's, from our perspective, it's cool to see a series that we've enjoyed go out on such a high note. And at the very least, if you disagree that it's not the best one, it's definitely a solid film and a great way to end the trilogy.
Normally we end up doing a non-spoiler review, which is the one you're watching now, and then in a couple days we usually have a spoiler review. However, we're not doing a spoiler review of this movie, so if you want to talk spoilers with us, come talk to us down in the comments. Just, put a little disclaimer so people aren't spoiled on things. And you can also come talk to us on Twitter or Facebook or even Instagram. We have all of our links listed down below. If you like our reviews, please give us a thumbs up. It really helps us out. And if you want to see more of our content and get notified for every video we put up, go ahead and subscribe. And if you want to see any of our other videos, we'll have those right over here. We'll have some other movie reviews. We also have other content like TV show reviews, gaming, anything under the sun. So go check it out, and we will see you in our next video. Bye.